Hi Babby, it's me again. So today should be Thursday, the 3rd of March, okay? So again, you have dancing today, so you start at 4 o'clock, so you should be able to do some of this before you go to dance and finish the rest later, yeah? So today we'll be doing multiplying non-unit fractions by non-unit fractions. So it'd be something like 3/5 times 4/6, yeah? And once again we multiply and we go straight across, yeah? But you know we use a fraction rectangle, yeah? But we'll be starting to get away from that, and so we'll use the rectangle plus tape diagrams to find our answers, yes? So anyway, and remember that when we say the word of, what does it mean? It means times. Very good. Okay? So let's begin, yeah? Let me get rid of that. And hopefully you got your colored pencil and a pen and all the tools you need, okay? Alright, here we go. So I'm going to go through pretty quick, okay? Because we did a lot of this yesterday. So hopefully you'll remember, okay? So we have 2/3 of 3/4. So we need 2/3 of 3/4. And of means what? Multiply. So let's do our rectangle. And I'm going to go real fast today, right? And we split it into how many parts? 4 parts. Because we need 2/3 of 3/4, okay? And we get 3/4, that's here, and we label that 3/4, yes? So let's shade this area. Okay, so we now need to find 2/3 of this area, so how many times we need to split it up to make it thirds? We split it up 3 times, yes? 1, 2. And we need 2/3, that's 1, 2. So we label this part 2/3. And we need to find out what this section is. Oops. Out of the whole thing, yes? So we need to find this box, this box, this box, and all those boxes out of the whole thing. So we continue to split up everything, and now we find out how many boxes. So we have 1, 2, 3 going down, and 1, 2, 3, 4 going across. So we have 3 times 4, which is 12. And how many boxes do we have in this area? Well, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we have 6 pieces out of 12. So that means 2/3 of 3/4 equals 6/12, or equals what? 6 goes into 6 one time, and 12 divided by 6 is 2. So we can do our sentences. That equals 2 times 3 over 3 times 4. Now can we reduce? Yes, we can. Or reduce or simplify, right? So 2 divided by 2 is 1. 4 divided by 2 is 2. 3 divided by 3 is 1. And 3 divided by 3 is 1. So then we multiply across, and we have 1 times 1 is 1. 1 times 2 is 2. So we have 1/2, okay? So if I'm going too slow, you can pause and speed up and check the answers. So I'd like you to do some by yourself, okay? So second one, I'm going to speed up a little bit, okay? So we need 2/5 of 3/4. So again, we do our box, our rectangle, and we split into how many pieces? 4 pieces. 1, 2, 3, 4, okay? And we label that what? 3/4. Very good, Tennille. Now, let's color that area in real light just so we can see it, okay? Okay. So now we need 2/5 of 3/4. So how many times do you have to split this up? Into how many pieces? 5 pieces. Very good. 1, 2, 3, 4. And remember, we have lots of room, so we want to be able to see what we want to do. So how many fifths we need? We need 1, 2. So we need to label this, and we label this 2/5. So we need to find out how much the value of this area. You can highlight it in pen so you can see all the boxes, okay? So we continue our lines across, and we need to find out the value of all these in this area. Okay, so now we need to count how many boxes, but remember it's easier to multiply, so we know we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 this way, and 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have 4 times 5, which is 20. So we know, and out of the 20 we have how many boxes? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we have 6 out of 20. So 2/3 of 3/4 equals, what do we say? 6/20. 6/20. And let's reduce. Divide by both by 2 equals 3/10. Yes? So let's check with math. So we have 2/3 times, because of means times, 3/4 equals, can we reduce? Yes, we can. So we can do 2 divided by 2 is 1. 4 divided by 2 is 2. 1 divided by 1. Oh, sorry, baby. I wrote the wrong number, right? I said that should be 2/5, right? Equals 1/20. So this should be 5, okay? And this should be 3. So we can only reduce this side. Okay. So 1 times 3 is 3, and 5 times 2 is 10. Okay? So we write our sentence here. 2/5 of 3/4 equals 2 times 3 over 5 over 5 times 4, right? And we reduce again. 2 divided by 2 is 1. 4 divided by 2 is 2. And then we multiply across, and we get 1 times 3 is 3. 5 times 2 is 10. So we get 3/10. Okay? So am I going too slow or too fast? All right? Anyway, pause and see if you can do all these last two by yourself, and then you can come back and we'll do the next section differently, okay? So when you pause for a while, and maybe you'll be quicker than me, and then you can skip the video, okay, baby? Okay, let's do this one. So we need 2/5 of 4/5. So how many pieces do we need to split this into? We need to split it into 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we label this, and we need 4/5 out of this. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So we label that 4/5, and we'll shade that area in so we know. So we need 4 pieces out of 5, right? That's 4/5, okay? Then we need 2/5. So how many times we have to split it this way? 5 times again. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And we label how many we need? We need 2/5. So we label this 2/5. So we need to find out how many in this area. And let me draw the lines a little darker so we can see. So we need to find this, this, out of the whole piece. So how do we do that? We finish splitting all the way across, and then we count out how many boxes in the whole thing. So we know we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 this way, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 that way. So we have 5 times 5, which is 25. And out of the 25, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we know that 2/5 of 4/5 equals 8 25ths, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 25ths. Very good. Yes? So let's do that with math. And we do 2/5 times 4/5, because up means times, right? And can we reduce? No, we can. Very good. So we equals 2 times 4 is 8. 5 times 5 is 25. Okay? Move on to the next one, and the last one in this section. So we have 4/5 of 3/4, right? So again, we break our box into 4. Now if you have the room, we make it big so we can see, because we have to split it a lot of times, okay? So if we need 4s, how many times we have to split this up? Right, into 4 pieces. So 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces, right? And how many do we need? We need 3 pieces. Very good. And we label this 3/4. Okay? So now, let's shade this area in. Let me move the paper over so you can see better. So we shade how many pieces? 3 pieces. Very good. Now, we have to split this up. We need 4/5. So if we need 5ths, how many pieces do we make? 5 pieces. So we get 1, 2, 3, 4. Right? So we need 4 pieces. I mean 1, 2, 3, 4. So we label this 4/5. Right? So we need to find out how much in this area. So we need to find this box, this box, this box, and all the boxes in that area, okay? And how do we find that? How much of the whole piece? We continue our lines across. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we count how many boxes? So we know we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 going down, and 1, 2, 3, 4 going across. So we have 5 times 4, or 4 times 5 equals what? 20. And out of 20, we have how many pieces? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So we know that 4/5 of 3/4 equals how many? 12 20ths, right? So look at this. Can we reduce this number? Yes, because what number goes into both? You think? You know? 4. So 4 goes into 12 3 times. 4 goes into 20 5 times. Yes? So the answer equals 3/5. Yeah? So let's check that with math. So we have 4/3 times of, which we have 4/5 times 3/4 equals, let's reduce. 4 goes into 4 one time. 4 divided by 4 is 1. And we can't reduce here. So we have 1 times 3 equals 3. 5 times 1 equals 5. So the answer is 5/5. Okay? So let's pause for a second and see if you got everything right. Take a quick look, okay? Okay, Babby, so in the next section it says multiply. It said draw a rectangle fraction model if it helps you, right? Well, I think you're pretty good at the math, so I don't think you really need to do the rectangle on this. So let's just do multiplication, okay? So we have 5 times 3, 5 6 times 3/10, right? So let's just do the straight multiplication. So you know we go straight across when we multiply, right? But what should we look at first? We look at simplifying or reducing first, right? So can you look at these numbers? Let's look at the 5 and the 10, okay? So what do you think about that? Well, first of all, let's rewrite it. So that equals 5 times 3 over 6 times 10, okay? So let's look at the 5 and the 10. What can we do there? 5 goes into 10, yes? So they share a same factor, okay, which is 5. So 5 divided by 5 is 1. 10 divided by 5 is 2. And look at 6 and 3, because 3 goes into 6, so the factor is 3, right? So we have 3 divided by 3 is 1. 6 divided by 3 is 2. So we have 1 times 1, and we just multiply across. 1 times 1 is 1. 2 times 2 is 4. So the answer is 1/4. Let's go on to B, right? So I'm a little messy here, so I'm going to write it below, right? So let's rewrite it first. So that equals 3 times 4 over 4 times 5. Okay? Now let's look at the numbers. Can we reduce 3 and 5? No, we cannot, right? Can we reduce or simplify 4 by 4? Yes, we can. So we go 4 divided by 4 is 1. 4 divided by 4 is 1. So we have 3 times 1 equals, we go straight across, we have 3 times 1 equals 3. And we have 1 times 5 equals 5. So our answer is 3/5. Now this part I like because it's going faster. I know you like it too, right? So when you pause and see if you can do the rest, remember to reduce or simplify first and then multiply, okay? And then you can come back and check your answers. In the meantime, let me continue on, okay? So I'm going to rewrite this. So this equals 5 times 5 divided by 6 times 8. And, 5 and 8, no, they can't go and divide by each other. They don't share a common factor, and neither does 6 by 5. So we just multiply straight across, and we have, and what do we get? 5 times 5 is 25. 6 times 8 is 42. And can we reduce from here? No, so our answer is 25/42, okay? Let's go on to the next one. So let's rewrite it. So that equals 3 times 5 divided by 4 times 12. Okay, so can we reduce? Well, let's look at the 4 and the 5. No, we can't because they don't have a common factor, but let's look at 3 and 12. Well, we know that 12 is divisible by 3, right? And so is 3. So 3 divided by 3 is 1. 12 divided by 3 is 4. Okay, so therefore we have 1 times, so let's multiply across like we always do. We have 1 times 5 is 5. 4 times 4 is what? 16. Very good. So our answer is 5/16. So now we have 2 more to go on this page. So once again, let's rewrite. And that equals 8 times 2 divided by 9 times 3 equals, okay? So do we have any common factors here? No, we don't, do we? So we have to write it as 8 times 2 is 6. So we multiply it right across, okay? 8 times 2 is what? 16. 9 times 3 is 27. So we have 16 27s, okay? Last one in this section. So we have 3 times 2. No, sorry, 3 sevens times 2 nines. Sorry, my mistake, I'm getting ahead of myself. Equals, let's rewrite it. So we have 3 times 2 divided by 7 times 9. So let's look at the numbers. Does 2 and 7 have a common factor? No, they don't. Does 3 and 9 have a common factor? Yes, they do. Both are divisible by 3, so 3 is the factor. So 3 divided by 3 is 1. 9 divided by 3 is 3. So we multiply across, and we have 1 times 2 is 2. 7 times 3 is what? 21. So our answer is 2/21, okay? Alright, so maybe you should go to dance now, because that's about 20 minutes worth of work that we just did. And we can do the word problems tonight, and you can get mommy, okay? Alright? So I'll pause. You can pause the video and pick up tonight. If not, I'll just continue on, okay? So, page 2. And it's the word problems, right? So let's read the question, and they may seem hard, but if we look at it carefully, we won't have to worry about it, okay? I think they'll go pretty smooth, okay? So let's read the question. So every morning, Hallie goes to school with a 1 liter bottle of water, okay? She drinks 1/4 of the bottle before school starts, and 2/3 of the rest, that's important, before lunch. Okay? What fraction of the bottle does Hallie drink after school starts but before lunch? Okay? So now we're saying that she has 1 bottle of water, okay? And she drinks 1/4 first before school, and then 2/3 of the rest before lunch, okay? So let's use a tape diagram for this, okay? So since she starts by drinking 1/4, that means we should split everything into 4 pieces. So we got lots of room, so draw a big tape diagram. And how many pieces do we split it into? 4 pieces. Very good. 1, 2, 3. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So now she drinks 1/4 before lunch, okay? Yes? That's 1/4. Yes? Oops, I labeled it as 1/2. Sorry, 1/4, right? And this is, oh, let's label this. This is the rest. Yes? Which is how much? Which is how many fourths? 1, 2, 3. Very good. Because 4/4 makes the whole, so this is 3/4. So let's label this 3/4, okay? So it says she drinks 1/4, which is this, and then before school starts, and then 2/3 of the rest, which is this section here, after, oh, 2/3 of the rest before lunch. So let's color in this section, because this is what we're concerned about, okay? So we need 2/3 of the rest, and what is the value of the rest? The value of the rest is 3/4 fourths. So we can write that we need 2/3 of 3/4 equals, and what does this word mean? Of means times. Very good, Tennille. So we need 2/3 times 3/4 equals. Now, can we reduce? Let's look at the numbers. Yes, we can. Let's look at 2 and 4. Alright, so 2 goes into both numbers, right? Or they share the same factor, which is 2. So 2 divided by 2 is 1. 4 divided by 2 is 2. And let's look at the 3's. Obviously, yes, they share. So we do 3 divided by 3 is 1. 3 divided by 3 is 1. So then we multiply across, and we get 1 times 1 equals 1. 1 times 2 equals 2. Okay? So she drinks half a bottle. Wait, we haven't finished yet. She drinks 2/3 of the rest before lunch. Now, the question is, what fraction of the bottle does Hallie drink after school starts, but before lunch? Okay? Yes? Oh, sorry, Bobby. That is our answer, isn't it? Right? Yes? Yes, because she drank 1/4 but before school, so we need to do after school but before lunch. So she drinks half a bottle, okay? So let's move on to part B, right? So how many milliliters are left in the bottle at lunch? Okay, so that's the second part. That's tricky, right? So we know she drinks, so we have to use a little bit of logic here, right? Yes? So you know that she drinks 1/4 before lunch, and then she drinks before school, then she drinks a half bottle before lunch. So what is left at lunch? So let's write down, so how do we find, well, let's do a tape diagram real quick, right? So she drank 1/4 before school, right? 1/4. And let's split this into 4 pieces again, right? And she drank 1/2 before lunch starts, okay? So what's another way of writing 1/4? 1/2 in the fourth. It's 1/2 equals how many fourths? 2/4. So she drank 1/4 before school starts, and then 2/4. 1/4 here and another 1/4 before lunch. So this is what she drank already. So if the whole thing equals 4/4, how much does she have left in the bottle? She has what? What's this one piece here? It'll be 1/4 left, okay? So we need to find 1/4 of 1 liter, okay? I hope you can see that, right? So how do we do that? So we do 1/4 liter equals 1/4 times 1 liter. Yes? Now, how many milliliters are in a liter? Do you have your conversion chart handy? Can you figure that out? Any guess? Okay, look at your chart and you'll see that 1/4 liter, 1 equals 1/4 times 1,000 milliliters, okay? How do we write that? I can't even spell it. Liters. Okay, let's go over here, and that equals 1/4 times 1,000 equals 1 times 1,000 over 4 equals 1,000 divided by 4, right? So I'm going to do it right here, and I can do it in my head, right? And I'll show you. So we have 1000 divided by 4, right? So if we hide one of the zeros, how many times does 4 go into 100? It goes 25 times, and then we have to put the 0 back because we covered it up. And our answer is 250 milliliters, okay? Yeah, did you get that? Okay, so take a little time to think about that, and we'll move on to the next, right? Pause if you have to. Okay, second question. Now, actually, this is looks like the easiest one so far, right? Well, actually, maybe not. Let's see. Musa delivered 3/8 of the newspapers on his route in the first hour, and 4/5 of the rest, that rest means whatever's left, right, in the second hour. What fraction of the newspapers did Musa deliver in the second hour? Okay, so let's draw a quick tape diagram, okay? And since he started by doing 3/8, so how many pieces do you think we need to split the tape diagram into? 8 pieces, right? So we go 1, 2, 3, 4, and we split 1, 2, 3, 4. So we should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay? So he uses how many? He delivers what fraction in the first hour? 3/8. So we got 1, 2, 3. So 3/8 in the first hour. Okay? First. Okay? So if you use 3/8 out of 8/8, how much is left? He has 5/8 left. Very good. So 5/8 is the what? The rest. Okay? So we need to find out 4/5 of the rest, and the rest is 5/8. Very good, Tennille. So we just write our multiplication sentence, right? And we need to find 4/5 of 5/8 equals, now let's write it below, equals, what does the word mean? Times. Very good. So 4/5 times 5/8, right? Equals, let me move this over a little so we can see, equals 4 times 5 over 5 times 8. Now, do these share a common factor? Yes, 4. 4 goes into 4 one time. 4 goes into 8. How many times? 2 times. Very good. And obviously 5 has the same common factor, right? So 5 divided by 5 is 1. 5 divided by 5 is also 1. So we multiply across, and we multiply across, and that equals 1 times 1 is 1. 1 times 2 is 2. So he delivered half of his newspapers in the second hour, okay? Alright. Now, you can pause again if you need to see this, right? But now, this is a interesting question, right? So, we're going to use some logic and find this out, okay? Now, we think we have to label this a lot, so we need to draw our tape diagram big. So before you draw yours, watch me draw mine, and you kind of make it the same size, okay? So let's read the question first. Rose bought some spinach. She used 3/5 of the spinach in a pan spinach pie for a party, okay? She used 3/4 of the remaining, which means The remaining is what's left after she used the 3/5 for a pan for her family. So pan for her family. Then she used the rest of the spinach to make a salad. What fraction of the spinach did she use to make the salad? Okay, so this is interesting. So you pause for a second and watch me. I'm going to make a big tape diagram, okay? And you need to make it big too, okay? So let's do a big one because we need to see what we're going to do here, right? See? So you can pause for a second and make your tape diagram nice and big like that, okay? So now, she started by using 3/5. So we know we're going to break this into 5 pieces, okay? So let's break it into 5 nice pieces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, okay? So the first part, for the party, she used how many? She used 3/5, right? So we label this. So that's 1, 2, 3. 3/5. I'm going to have to write over here, but we know this is 3/5. And we'll call that for the party, okay? P-A-R-T-Y, okay? But we're not concerned about that, right? We need to find out 3/4 of the remaining. So what's the remaining? This is the remaining, yes? So let's call that remaining. Okay, or just R, or give it a label, okay? So if we break, how many fifths do we have? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5/5. So if we use 3/5, how many fifths do we have left, baby? We have 2/5 left, right? So 2/5, so we label this 2/5, okay? Yes? Now, so we're not worried about this section, so let's just put an X through that. We want to concerning about the remaining, okay? Now, this part is interesting because the remaining is 2/5, right? Now, of the remaining, she uses how much of the remaining? 3/4 of the remaining to make the pan for her family, okay? So, how many pieces do we have? We have 2, right? So let's use our logic and let's cut this up into 4 even pieces, and that's pretty easy, right? Because we know we can break this by splitting each piece into half, right? So now, where's my famous tissue? I don't have my tissue anymore. I'll use a piece of paper, right? So if you look at this section, we have 4 pieces, right? And when we break something into 4 pieces, what do we call them? We call them fourths, right? So each one of these is now 1/4. 1/4, okay? And how much of the remaining did she use? She used 3/4. So how many pieces is that, Tennille, of the remaining? It's 3 pieces. So let's color 3 pieces. Okay? And let's label that, if we can, if you got room, that's for the family, okay? Family. And then she used the rest to make a salad, okay? So she used 3/4. If she just used 3/4, how much is left? How much is the rest? Is this piece here, right? Let me shade it. And what is that? That is 1/4. So we know we need 1/4, and what was the value of this section? 2/5. So we need to write 1/4 of 2/5, which equals, I'm just going to shortcut it, right? You know how to do it. 1 times 2, because of means times, 4 times 5. Okay, can we reduce? Well, no. Well, we could, but it'll still come out to be the same, okay? So we can reduce 4 and 2. So 2 divided by 2 is 1. 4 divided by 2 is 2. So we multiply across, and we have 1 times 1 equals 1. 2 times 4 equals 10. And she used 1/10 for the salad. Yes? So have mommy look at this with you, and we figure out how we did it, okay? And maybe she can help to explain to it, okay? Now, last question. And it says, if Rose used 3 pounds of spinach to make the pan sorry, if Rose used 3 pounds of spinach to make this pan of spinach pie for the party, how many pounds of spinach did Rose use to make the salad? Okay, so let's do our tape diagram again. So we have a tape diagram, yes? And how many did she split it into? How many? She used 3/5, right? For the pan for the party. So let's split this into 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So she used this section, right? Which is 3/5, right? If I can draw that, right? So it says she used 3 pounds to make 3/5, right? So let's just look at that section, okay? So we know, you remember how to do your units, right? So we know 3 units equals how much? How much did she use? She used 3, right? So 1 unit equals 1 unit equals